began when I was born. Came to the understanding that we are all in this together, in the knowing that we are all connected. And that came through my death.
Being dead for 10 minutes and then returning.
It's like a lotus flower gets shoved down in the murky mud and it rises back up.
My energies are starting to flow and balance and be in harmony with everybody else's, and I'm like, this is what I came back for.
She was so enthusiastic for life after that.
Nicole is an angel, mentor, teacher, guide, sage. She has the infinite wisdom and ability to touch and heal people's lives.
Nicole has brought a lot of joy to my life.
I consider her as an energy healer.
What I love is her authenticity.
I was completely healed. It was absolutely amazing.
I am so happy and I am so blessed that I have met Nicole.
The kindest, most passionate, loving person I have ever met.
She's a gift from God.
I took the gun. I was almost ready to shoot myself. She saved my life.
She saved my life.
And good afternoon after a very big hiatus.
Yes.
We are back with Remembering Connections with Cindy and Nicole at 3 o'clock. I'm Cindy.
I am Nicole.
Welcome back, my friend. We've missed each other. We haven't seen each other in like 4 weeks.
I know, it was like the best reunion this morning.
Wow. and if you notice, we still have a little sign that says we're on at 11, but because there have been changes at the radio station, we have been changed to the afternoon. So welcome to our 3 o'clock show, and this is where it's going to stay for right now. We are on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM in St. George, Utah, and that is at Dixie State University. I want to thank the professor here at the Communications Department, Sean Denovan, for allowing us to be on the air, and that's the deal. He was making some changes here at the radio station, so he said, you guys are going to have to move to the afternoon. So here we are in the afternoon. 3 o'clock is a great time, don't you think?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I haven't had a whole lot of excitement in the last 4 weeks, but you, my friend, have. So you've been touring a little bit. You went to Mount Shasta, California, which I have only heard great things about. I've never been, so want to go. Do you want to share a little bit about your trip to Mount Shasta, which was what last week? Was it last week already? Or yeah.
Well, there was a whole bunch of turn of events. I learned a lot of lessons about myself, being in the physical as well as the spiritual. And so I was able to live in these two different realms and really bring back a message. I didn't really get the message all the way until I came home and sat with it just barely on Monday because I
kind of integrate it a little bit or just figure out what happened, right? Yeah.
Right, because of this. So I was told to be there about 3 or 6 months ago to be on Mount Shasta on 7/7/18, and so regardless of how I was going to get there, I was going to be there, and I was. And when I was up on the mountain, I was looking around, and I had these beautiful people with me that I realized that we're just coming into a really big spiritual awakening. And so I got to observe that, but yet I got to understand and bring up this amazing energy that was coming through the core of Mother Earth through the mountains. And this time
in Mount Shasta.
In Mount Shasta. And so I'm watching these, it was Keith and Hillary, I'm watching these beautiful people
light up
to consciousness. And I can remember just laying on the ground going, how does it get better than this?
Yeah.
And then I got my answer. I started feeling this most amazing energy move up my body. And as I'm asking, I'm all soaking in everything that's going on. And I realized that I started getting like more of a fluttery in my chest, uncomfortable feeling. And so how I teach you guys is go through it first. So I ask.
Congratulations, Nicole.
I know.
I'm sure it was a party, right? Yeah. Now, if you're just tuning in, by the way, I wanted to mention a couple of things. First of all, we are on Facebook at Radio St. George on Facebook Live. We're going to talk about our Facebook. We're going to talk about how you can get a hold of Nicole. We're going to talk about the website, all of that. But if you didn't hear the intro and you don't know who Nicole is, she's an international healer. She basically died, came back, and she walks closer to what people call the veil or to heaven than the majority of us who've been here for a while. So now that said, now you can explain when you're saying you have to go through it. So you actually had to go through it on a physical level then, like the rest of us in the body, right?
Yes.
Is that what you meant? Okay.
Yes, because I can observe all that stuff and understand on the energetics what energy is moving up from the mountains,
right?
And you know, like many people do.
Yeah.
Like many people, I've traveled with many people that are scientists or whatnot that can explain on that level what I do. However, when I'm sitting on the mountain and I'm understanding, wow, these are the frequencies, the vibrations, the energies, the informations that are moving through, I get to look at these people that are with me and kind of go, what are they feeling? And so I get that. So I lay down on the mountain and I'm getting what they're feeling.
Oh wow!
So
complete
it was
connection.
Yes, it was it was like this calibration of information to bring to you guys. And what I come to the understanding is that the body is shivering, like almost in a chaotic state. So honestly, I ask, what is happening with us?
And that was like your heart palpitations, right? You said you kind of felt like you had something in your chest. Did you say that?
Yeah. I'm sure everyone feels it. Yeah. It's hitting everyone.
Internally shaking.
It's like,
absolutely.
It's like your whole world is almost in a chaotic state. And guess what? It is.
Yeah.
The whole world, everyone is right now. And it's because of the core, or not the core, but the ley lines of Mother Earth, which the ley lines are like the information highways, or like if you know the spiritual realms of the meridians, or that's ancient teachings.
So when you talk the ley lines, like the frequency and the highways of Mother Earth, what would the scientists say that would be? Would they call that ley lines as well, or is a grid, kind of a grid in the earth? Okay,
it's a grid that historically connects all of the ancient ruins, the ancient historical spots like the Himalayas.
How cool is that?
Mount Shasta. Well, it's similar to our internal system that has
our meridians.
We call them meridians. We call them the chakra system inside of our body. Everything repatterns. Yeah. So it's the same repatterning. Mother Earth is this, of course, we're made of her. So when you look at it that way,
it makes sense.
I'm laying on the mountain going, oh snap, let me figure this out so that I can assist people.
Right.
And so I got to observe. I kind of laid on the ground, and Hillary was next to me, and I was watching Keith, and I was like, holy snap, I can see these they are in two different spaces of life, right?
Right.
And of consciousness.
Right.
And I get to see what's happened to them. And then I have Les and Suzette that are they're on the other, like in a different area, but I got to see individually what this information coming up was doing to these people.
So you were kind of like a grand observer.
That's what I do. That's what I came back.
No, I know, but I mean, I'm just telling people because again, on the physical level, Cindy's on the physical level trying to figure this out, Nicole. So you're kind of like the grand. You can actually go a little higher. Well, probably not just a little bit, a lot higher, and you can observe everybody and kind of how. You know this. We all know that we're at different levels. No good or bad, no right or wrong, no better than anybody else. But we're at different levels of evolvement. So you're really seeing that during this time.
Yes, and when I died and came back, that was one of the things that I came back for is to observe and see how to assist people to assist themselves, because you are the healer. You are the one that heals you, and until I can show you, be here to say, look, I healed myself. Right. Let me show you how. Yeah. I'll mirror the white light. I'll mirror this, and until you catch up to it.
Isn't it exhausting a little bit?
Some days. So I'll get to that after.
Yeah, let's hear the exhausting part, because we know what that's like. But anyway, so you're laying there and you're seeing all your different friends at different levels, and are they getting healing from the earth on the mountain?
Well, I could see some chaos going into some people because now we're going to just break away from names, but some people were getting frustrated with each other. Some people were really just in that space. Some people just it hit the heart at such different levels. So Keith and I was able to talk with him and tell him to do a direct connection to the heart of Mother Earth, like
which is the
right
center.
Through the ley lines. Yeah. Go right through the ley lines, and so we were able to kind of move through this energy like that. And when he did that, I could see his whole body shift. Yeah. And same with Hillary. And it's not funny. I have a male and a female that were.
But that's cool. That's cool. Because I'll tell you
what,
whether you feel like you're spiritual or not, we do feel the energy from the earth because we're walking on her, right? And I think that you could go to the earth easier even a few months ago than you can now. Like what you're talking about, the ley lines, the highway, like they're shifted and they're not like connected. And so we're trying to find where's that heart, and like, I have no idea where it is. Right. Mm-hmm. So how did you know how to get to the heart through all that chaos then? How did you know how to do that?
Because I know how to do, I do that. So I had to, but what I got to observe is how to show someone else how to do it. And it was really like, you find your center, which a lot of people, they seem that it seems difficult, but you know what, we'll help you as much as we can today with this meditation. You can and go from there.
Figure it out. Yeah.
But once you bring, so we have this electrical magnetic field I talk about all the time, mm-hmm. and we have this beautiful cycle of life that moves through us, and this is how we are at gravity.
Yeah.
And that's science, that's spirituality, you can cross the two.
Right.
And when you're in that space and your heart is magnetizing, the magnetism or the heartbeat of your heart is the same as Mother Earth, and mm-hmm. when you connect to that, mm-hmm. it's very possible and it begins to become easy to start living the clearing, the non-static. So when I need better words for that. So when you step into that space and you're in your cycle of life.
In your heart and then Mother Earth's heart you're talking about, yes. That's the space you're talking about. Mm-hmm. So it's the complete connectedness. Then the chaos, even though it's around you, doesn't affect you anymore?
Yes.
Is that what you mean? You're more at peace.
But finding the way to
do that.
Well, pop the thoughts. I mean, the thoughts are telling you, oh my gosh, this is too chaotic. And your heart's going to listen because we've been trained that way. We're not trained to use our heart brain.
So true.
We're trained to use this brain that gives us confusion.
Yep.
And so when you start practicing that every day, it becomes easier and easier.
Yeah.
And so as we're going through this process and I'm just kind of watching everybody evolve, it was pretty magnificent.
Yeah.
But I did find it's a blue, like a really deep blue purple,
mm-hmm.
and that happens to send when you become to center, you find your true self, and you just go into that space. You are able to move through the center of your body, this brilliant purple blue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No, it's not of this earth. I've seen it. I know exactly the color you're talking about. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Just more than if you can't see it. Feel it because there's so much energy. To me, it feels like really brilliant and soft at the same time, and like complete love. It feels like it's safe. That's what it feels
mm-hmm.
like. It feels home. Like, right? Is that fair to say something like that?
Yeah.
To me, it does. That's how it feels.
Like that complete alignment of grounding
complete above and below. Complete. Yeah.
When you connect the heavens and the earth,
yes.
There's this is the color that I saw at
mm-hmm.
Mount Shasta, and,
mm-hmm.
and for me it shifted to a easier way than even I was doing it before, because I don't know this, but but what I felt and saw was this was the first time that these two colors have united, bringing a really aligned space for all of us to step into, and you can try it on. You can choose to do this or not. Allow it. Don't. It's up to you. This is my experience.
Mm-hmm.
This is the experience of people around me. However, it worked.
Yeah,
I watched it work for even the people that were having the moments when we assisted in that purple blue. It all of a sudden became
a better space.
Aligned to even each other.
So can I just ask, just a side note, because I'm concerned about Mother Earth. Like, how is she handling her highways? Not so, you know what I'm saying?
Same as us.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, because we've had volcanoes and lots of fires and floodings and things and craziness with people, but that's kind of been the way it's been for a little while. I just feel like that's so awesome that we have the blue purple. So in her heart, does she get that blue purple too, so that she can be settled internally at least? I always worry about her. So we're blessed to be able to walk on her. I think
she's the one showing us how to align to the heavens so that can happen. Okay. She's the one
that
vibrationally level. Trying to is matching what's above so that it can make a one whole.
Yeah,
to be able to.
She's amazing.
So the ley lines are what is. they have everything to do with the volcanoes and everything. And so when you think about if you're connecting to the ley lines instead of the heart of Mother Earth, you're connecting to all the chaotic movement in Mother Earth. The same as us. So we have this chaotic stuff going on in front of us, and inside of us, around us,
in our lives, in our personal lives, even.
And our volcanoes are the ones that we let in.
Okay.
The people we let in.
Okay.
Because you choose. You choose. And that is going to move us right into that, holding on to what doesn't serve you. We've talked about, I talk about all the time, letting go, reclaim, da-da-da. But what really came to me this week was holding on to what doesn't serve you.
Yeah.
And letting somebody hold on to letting someone else hold on to you, knowing that it doesn't serve anything out of fear. That's really what it would be. Is fear
of maybe not having security, because even though this doesn't serve me, I feel more secure because that's all I've known.
Yeah.
Right? That kind of thing. You know what it feels like to me, and you know me personally, and my life's been crazy, but not just mine. Like my friends, everybody's life has been really, really crazy. And I know in a physical, I've walked around this earth a couple of days. I haven't died and came back, so I'm pretty much in the body. But the thing is, it feels like this. And this is such a great demonstration. It's like if you're in the airport and you're traveling somewhere, okay? We're travelers, right? We're here. That's why we're traveling. We're at Earth School or whatever you want to call it. And we have suitcases. And they don't have wheels on it. And we're like carrying these suitcases around. That is like the stuff we carry around in life. And when you're carrying all this luggage, you can't wait to get to a place to sit down and put the luggage down, right? So that to me is like what my stuff is. And for some reason, even though I want the luggage gone, or I want to give it to somebody who'll take it away from me, and I don't really want it anymore, I'll let it go for a minute. And then the next day I'll pick it back up again.
So it's like now you're stepping in sand. Yeah. Now you're not just rolling it. You're like stepping in sand. And
no, but I know I'm not alone on this, because it's like intellectually, I'm like, all right, I got this. I'm gonna let go of my luggage, and I'm gonna do this and take some transport. Angel guy is going to take it from me because I've asked him to, and I'm so grateful for that. And then the next day I wake up and I go, "Hey, angel guy, can I have my luggage back?" And that's exactly what it's like for me. And and the thing is, I'm completely conscious that I'm doing it, and I'm still doing it. So what do you got for me on that?
I see now your foundation is all sandy now, because if you don't learn your lesson,
it's
like
quicksand.
Like, oh crap. Oh.
Yeah. So what happens is when I go back to get my luggage, then there's like more.
Yeah.
It's not just the luggage I left with him the night before. I've got like more luggage. Like I've got my luggage.
Your neighbors.
I've got my neighbors' luggage, people I work with luggage, my family's luggage. I have everybody's luggage. Okay, come on, I'll carry the luggage. And it's like, it's exhausting, and we can laugh about it, because if you look at it, it is really laughable. And the fact that I'm conscious of it, and I'm still like going back to get the luggage, like it's embarrassing to admit. But you know what? It's true. And I think that a lot of us do that in the physical world. So my friend, with your perspective, how do we really let go of that luggage and not come back and get it? Can you explain that?
So what I can say, because I'm unsure of that, I'm unsure of how to answer that. What
right.
I can say,
it's not your experience.
Well, is I let go of things. But I let people hold on to things around me.
Oh, interesting.
So but what I've recently discovered.
But you can see them holding on to it, right? I mean, you have that vision where you can actually say, "Oh, they're holding on to this." And
I can see. But what I've witnessed is holding on to stuff that doesn't serve you allows space for the ending to be really horrible. So you have this.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, you have this plan.
Yeah.
There's this plan. You both know you need to let go, and you don't.
Yeah.
Or one of you do. One of you, it's miserable, so one of the other ones tries. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But what it is you hold on to this stuff, and then you get flooded.
Yeah. Well, and then I think
Literally.
too. Yeah, you did. I think too that we keep having it, and then all of a sudden we're not seeing who we are anymore because there's too much luggage.
Yeah.
Like we're just seeing suitcases. We're like stacked up suitcases, and we're somewhere in the center going, like I don't even know where the world is anymore because I have a bunch of suitcases around me. And that's, to me, it's like trapping yourself, right?
And then also you have all these emotions and all these things that have happened because like accumulating on each other. So you're also holding on to other people's stuff and you're losing your personality.
Yeah, it's true.
So if you're somewhere that you don't want to be, and you're open into a more of a heavy energy, you're going to attract that heavier energy and become that. So your responses, you're just not going to be you anymore.
Yeah.
And so when like letting go would be, is this working or is this not working?
Yeah.
Ask those two questions. Only two questions. Is this working or is it not?
And for the ladies in the audience, it's like cleaning your closet. Have you worn the outfit in the last year? No, then clean it up. I'm just saying that because that's how I clean my closet. For those kind of things, like I can let stuff go like that. But for me, and I think what a lot of the luggage that I carry are not wanting to hurt somebody.
Yes.
I would never in a million years intentionally hurt somebody. And that is true. You know me, I am like that. And I think, oh no, because if I let that go, then they will be really sad and I won't want them to be. And I really do that. And I'm totally conscious of it. And I think a lot of people do that, especially when you're related to them or you're dear friends with them or whatever. Don't you think that that's part of it? How do you let that go and say it's okay? Because on a grander scale, we're better, we're going to grow. We need to grow, and we're not helping each other grow if we're attached in a not good way.
That's when I say that by not paying attention, is this working or is it not working? Doesn't mean, should you make a drastic decision right then? It means that you ask yourself, is this working or is it not working? If it's not, okay, what's the solutions?
It seems like such a basic question.
But off of that, you can say, no, it's not working. It doesn't mean, okay, say two people are divorcing and you're like, okay, is it working or is it not working? And you're like, no, it's not. Doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to get divorced tomorrow. What it means is find something that works.
Yeah.
But you have to admit it's not working first.
Yeah.
But then when you admit it's not working and you hold on, that is when it
gets worse.
You're
right.
It becomes disharmonious. And the only reason that we're here, we're all on one mission, and it's to be in harmony. Like this, that's because we're going back to the universe. We're going back to the divine, and it's harmonious.
Right? This is supposed to be a vacation. Yeah, we love the joy. Joy is loud in this studio.
Yes, it is.
So interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. But I think that's a lot of thing, like you said, it's fear of a safety thing, fear of hurting somebody's feelings, fear of whatever it is. I mean, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think that's a big, big deal with all of us. And don't you think when you're talking about the chaos right now, that it's up. Let me just say, because I have walked on the earth, like I said, a couple of days. When I was younger, it would seem like I would put my life in compartments. So let me just give you three. There would be my personal life. There would be my professional life. There would be my physical, like my health. And it would always seem like one thing might be going a little haywire. So like say my professional life wasn't good at the time, but my personal life and my health was great. So my concentration was like, I'm going to be grateful for what's good because I'm going to concentrate on that. And then I'm going to put whatever energy into what needs to be worked on. I'm going to work on that. But it was okay because I had this backup of two things of my three things that were good. But now, in whatever's going on in the world now, like everything's not good. So we have to stay in that joy and that gratitude to get into that center, that blue-purple light you're talking about. There's a question for you, Nicole. Because for me, in the physical, I'm just talking, I so respect where you're at, but in our physical being, when we have that, does that even make sense to you? Where you probably don't even make your life in compartments, but I think that's kind of a mental thing, and maybe I'm the only one in the world that does it. I doubt it, but that's very true. How I would do that, and now it's like, okay, well, that part's not working very well. That part's not working well. Like nothing's working well, and then you freak out.
But what if it is? What if it's not bad? What if everything has to fall
learning
apart
and growing
to fall back together? You know, what if these old behaviors that we keep asking to go away, and you're like, holy snap, now they're going away because they have to.
Completely right.
And you're like, oh great. Then it's like falling apart now to fall back together.
It's exhausting. I'm just going to tell you. Right.
And you know what? The thing is look at your neighbor and be like, you know what? I love you because you're going through the same thing that I am. Instead of being this judgmental of realizing people are going through the same thing.
It shows compassion. No, I absolutely think I've watched people who haven't had compassion before go, whoa, because they finally know what you're talking about when they do that. I have watched that. I'm serious.
We're loud today. I'm smiling.
No,
I love it.
Because the thing is, you got some major stuff, and I'm just talking about really, and I know I have friends. We're all in the physical world, and I know you're in the physical world, but not always, right? You have a different perspective. Which thank you for coming back and giving it to us. So I'm just asking because it's like this is the truth for me. And what freaks me out and what makes me like kind of mad and kind of embarrassed, and that's the emotions of the physical, is that I consciously know this is going on, and I'm not letting stuff go, and I'll let it go for like maybe a couple of hours. And I'll go, I feel great. And then something will happen. I go, ooh, I'm right back carrying my luggage, you know? And it's like, come on. When can I just finally really be done with the luggage?
So why I'm saying we're loud today and I'm focusing on that is because I'm watching you go through this. And you know what? When we're loud, do you realize that when you're like loud and having fun, we're getting through even though the chaotic, the baggage.
Yeah.
Holy snap, we're going to get through this.
Well, you kind of have to laugh about it. Like, I mean, there are times I could cry about it. And I think that when you're going through this kind of thing, and if you're like me and you have all the compartments and all that, it really can put you in a depressed state. And I don't want that for me. I don't want that for anybody. I just wish all of us could have peace on earth and love each other and have the best life, because that's really how I think we're supposed to have it, right? And all the great spiritual teachers tell us that. I'm like, okay, well, you guys got it down, but the rest of us are like, you know, maybe working paycheck to paycheck, and we're trying to figure out our health or the health of someone we love, and we're just, you know, concentrating on that. And we really have to concentrate on gratitude. I understand that, but sometimes it's hard. It is in the physical world. There you go.
So, I'll tell you how I got through my chaos.
Okay.
Because I had chaos.
Yeah, you have.
Even though this personality never, it left for a minute. So after Mount Shasta, holy snap, I got to come to the understanding of not necessarily falling, but tripping. Ugh. So old behaviors, things that came up that I hadn't had. Mm-hmm. I hadn't had to worry about.
When you talk about old behaviors, is that in your DNA, in your physical body, and you came back and you forgot that you even had that DNA? Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I go back and I'm like, I feel this chaotic excitement, but it's excitement to me. It's chaotic to the people that are around me. I get to watch how they're adjusting, and I get to come back to the life here. Mm-hmm. And I did. Mm-hmm. I did have this like, it was a week, I think, a week that was just a mess for me.
For me, looking at you, it's been a couple months. But the big stuff has happened. No, you see, you're like, it's shocking you. It's shocking you, but it has been. You've had a lot of stuff happen, and you've made it through. You've been awesome in making it through. But you have had to sit in your physical body and walk like that, like the rest of us, and it's not fun, huh?
No, it's not. And me, I when I got home and I had to reach out to somebody, and it was Lula Grace. Mm-hmm. I had to reach out to somebody and ask for help, because not too many people can assist at clearing me.
Yeah.
And so when I did, I realized that she needed me too in a different way.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna cry.
But that's a good thing. That's why we're doing this show, right? We all need each other. That's a big thing. You gonna be okay? It's a big deal, though. So she assisted you on figuring out.
I gotta watch. I
gotta
be in my own space, kind of being, ill or sick or whatever.
Right.
And I gotta witness like this lady is 77 that has done what I've been doing, like in my same space, having people have thoughts about her or doubting her and just struggling till 77 and
right.
And she showed right up to to clear everything off and walk me through what was happening with me.
That's so great.
And so I did that. I started clearing off, and I asked God, I asked Creator for a major clearing, and then we get a natural disaster, and the flood goes right into my backyard and floods my house.
You wanted your house cleansed, and it's cleansed.
I was like, oh,
it's muddy,
snap.
but it's cleansed.
Then I got to understand that I'm really, really strong. I thought I was strong just spiritually. And people have told me that, have been around me for the last couple of years. I felt like I was not strong in this world, like just in that other world. And I was only to heal. And you know what? My son.
That's really interesting.
My son and my daughter-in-law and I, we had the most amazing experience. And like literally our rock wall was coming down. It was floating around our house. We had to create a dam, right?
Yeah.
And so we're crawling up our rocks. We realize we are not prepared.
Yeah.
We have 2 flashlights.
Yeah.
And 1 shovel.
Yeah.
And we have to build a dam. And we did it. We're crawling up these rocks. We go walk out to the Bronson, my son, he decides that he's going to go and like scope it out to see where it's really
coming from.
Yeah. So we go up there and McKenna and I are like, my daughter-in-law are like moving rocks, and we're these huge boulders. After when we woke up in the morning, we have no idea how we moved them.
Yeah.
Because we had to get up in the morning and the cleanup happened and all the mud, but it was supposed to rain again that next day. And so we had to go and see the damage and walked over and did another one.
In the St. George area, we have had monsoons lately. This is monsoon season. July is always monsoon season, and it's been really crazy in the area. A lot of areas a little outside of St. George have had to be sandbagged. They've had homes that have flooded, and your home was like that. And what's crazy is, and the earthquake or the volcano in Hawaii and all that. I mean, it's an instant. Like you're fine, and then in an instant, something can happen. And it's good for us to know, and when you're talking about that connection, that purple blue light and the connection to Mother Earth, it's good for us to, the bottom line is that is not going to be something we can control, but how we deal with it and how we say, okay, this is what's happening, and talk about living in the now. There you go. Because you have to, because you're trying to save your house at that point, right? But you did.
We did.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're stronger for it now.
Yeah. Yeah. But what it taught me also is I had some major other transitions happening. And I want to do a shout out to Ashton for showing up and assisting with clearing out some of that other energies. Like my whole house needed to be cleared and cleansed, and it was.
Yeah.
So I have a kind of a funny, because I texted one of my friends, Keith, and I said, oh my gosh, it's raining. I'm going to do the rain dance. I'm so excited. And my grandbaby and I were dancing over the house, and that night it flooded.
Yeah.
So he texted me and said, and told me, he's like, well, guess what? You shouldn't have done the rain dance.
You need to do the rain dance other places, because you know what? This is the deal in this area. If you are unfamiliar with St. George, we're very deserty, and we need the water. The water's good, but when the water comes down as fast and as hard as it has in the last couple of weeks, because we're such a dry soil, it floods. Things have flooded, and so we're grateful for the water. So rain dances are welcome. Just, can you make it a soaking rain instead of, because it's been a little crazy. Yeah,
do it in April.
Yeah, and maybe in the fall too, right? Exactly. When it's a little bit,
I guess April,
it's kind of crazy. Do you want to? We're gonna try and take at least a couple of calls, because we're at the half mark. We're doing an hour today. Just want to remind you that this is on live on the Facebook page in St. George at Radio St. George at the college here at 100.3 FM. And we will have it back on our Facebook page at Remembering Connections with Cindy and Nicole. Check us out on our Facebook page. If you would like to get a healing with Nicole, and that's what we want to have you call up for, because Nicole's an amazing healer, and she can do that on the phone. If you're in person, she's great. You can always go to energyhealingbydesign.com and check that out. Her office is located in St. George at 352 East Riverside Drive, Suite A1. So we want to make sure that you have that.
A12.
A12? Oh, I had A1. I'm sorry. A12. And our number today is, like always, 435-879-4100. Before we take phone calls, do you want to do a meditation to kind of get us grounded in this purple blue light that you're talking about, and with Mother Earth, so that we don't have to, hang out with the crazy ley lines that are crazy, and we can just kind of go through it and say, okay, it's okay, because you're going to be connected. And maybe if we're grounded, wouldn't it be great to connect them all?
Yes, and I want to share a story.
Okay,
this
please.
is going to bring in this. Oh, I'm so excited you brought this up, and that I thought about this. So I'm going to share with you when we got to use this. We got to use this blue purple light.
Mm-hmm.
So Keith and I,
can we call it bloople?
Bloople. We use the bloople light.
We'll call it the bloople light. Okay, I like it.
We on my way home, I went through Salt Lake, and then I was at Keith's farm, and one of his horses was down, and I could tell it had like a colic or almost a tipped stomach, which isn't good.
No, because horses have the issues with the tummies. Yeah.
And mind you, I was afraid of horses before this day. And he's like, just walk out.
Oh, horses are sweet.
I know. Yeah. I watch him from a distance, but I've always been a little bit fearful.
Yeah.
It wasn't that day. We walk out, and it was like innately or automatically, I tapped in and checked into that blue light, the blooper. And
Blurple. Don't you like it? Blurple. It's too hard to say though, probably.
Blurple. And I could move it up from my feet, and then I shared it with him kind of.
With the horse?
No, with
your friend.
Keith, because I was trying to this is what I visioned. Okay. So it came up through my feet. I could see it moving into him, and I reached down. This is all just like happened so quickly. I reached down and I touched the horse, and then the horse started to get up, and he touched with the same blue, touched the horse's back, and it got up and walked.
Aww. And he's okay now?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think so. I haven't asked, so
that's
last
cool.
I heard he was.
That's very cool. So this is a healing light, and as far as like you said earlier, if you're just tuning in, you said earlier about this light. You were at Mount Shasta, and you saw this, and you said you're not positive, but you feel like this is the first time the blue and the purple have merged, and so it's a different energy that's coming with it. And if you can't physically see it, in your mind's eye, even if you can feel it, it's for me bright and soft at the same time, and completely aligned with above and below, completely. Heaven and earth is together on that, right?
And to be completely in your energy, to embody like both energies, to embody the connection above and below is really how your alignment becomes a full circle.
And that helps you stay in your heart instead of your head all the time. Okay. Do you want to do that? Okay, let's do it.
I'm just going to remind you how when I do meditation, I do it as I see in my head, and so you can follow along. You can accept it, allow it, delete it, shelf it, whatever you.
If you're driving, if you're listening and you're driving, you might want to pull over. Otherwise, even if you're seeing this later on, it's not live right now when you're watching it, it's still going to work because it's spirit time, right?
Yeah. And energy and healing and spirit, no time and distance.
Yay. Okay.
So we're just going to imagine a vision that, first of all, we're going to open up the white light above us to even bring down this beautiful blue-purple light. Imagine like the biggest, widest light you can imagine, go bigger. And as this is happening, allow that merging. It's merging right from the earth or right from the stars. Imagine that merging of those two blue and purple light. Move down and collect information. This is our information, and individually you're calling it down yourself. So uninfluenced, only yours. You're the only one that can call it to your heart. And as it moves through the top of your head, it's going to move down the energy centers of your body, right into the heart space. And let's move down into the lower part of your body and out into Mother Earth. Some of you may feel that shakiness already happening. So you breathe in. When you breathe out, move it down and direct it. It's your energy. Energy has to be directed. It's just you have to intentionally direct and map out where you want it to go. And as it moves down into the heart core of Mother Earth, it's like this brilliant red, this scarlet or ruby red today, really beautiful, strong. And then when you breathe in, you breathe it up to the bottom of your feet, It moves through all parts of your body. It moves up through all the energy centers. It goes up to that creator that loves us all, that brilliant white light. And in this brilliant white light is the rainbow spectrum. Mind you, you only speak or you only see of a spectrum that you're aware of. So broaden your awareness to there's more colors, frequencies, sounds, vibrations than you can ever imagine. And allow some of your intelligence to move back down through. And now imagine it's like a waterfall of this spectrum, bringing you new colors, new light, new life, new hope, new remembrance. That's it. Nothing's new. It's all remembered. It's bringing it down, this remembered light that you are, right from your oversoul, right from who you are. As it moves through the top of your head, all the way down through your body, it's like this delightful celebration of life. It's moving down into Mother Earth, and now that blue color is just going to just pop out. And as you breathe that in, you're going to move that out through all of your body. And remember, when you breathe in, you breathe it in, and then when you breathe out, you have a circle around you of energy that's always going, always twisting, always turning. And when you feel that center right in your heart, it's like a fresh air, like watery feeling, like home.
Yeah, home.
And so it is.
I like it. And so it is. Okay, so if you have a question today for Nicole, if you would like a healing with Nicole, kind of see what she does, please give us a call. Area code 435-879-4100 is the number to call. Area code 435-879-4100. Again, you're hearing us on Radio St. George, 100.3 in St. George, Utah. And you can also find us on Facebook Live right now at Radio St. George. We're going to be on our Facebook page. We'll be putting that on, Remembering Connections with Cindy and Nicole. You can also always find out more about Nicole and a healing with her at energyhealingbydesign.com. Her place of business is located in St. George at 352 East Riverside Drive, Suite A12. In St. George, and our number today, 879-4100. Now, I know that the phones work. We've had issues sometimes with the phones. I actually tested them myself this afternoon before we got on the air just to make sure I called it and everything. So it should be wide open. And please don't be afraid, because we are so not scary. 879-4100, area code 435. Please give us a call if you would like to do a healing. And maybe that's something that we need to revisit, Nicole, while we're waiting for somebody to be brave to call up, be the first one in today for today's show. Would you explain when you came back how you can heal and how you can be sitting here in the studio with me and someone can be out in their car or in another country or another state, and you can still connect with them and assist in their healing? Can you explain that?
Well, I can't really explain how it's happened.
Yeah.
It happens, but what I can explain is what the feedback I've got from other people, which I've done hundreds of remote healings or thousands, and as I connect to a person, I even when it's hands on, I always will we connect in the white light. So I learned how to use or how to master the frequency, which is the frequency is energy and vibration, through when I died.
Yeah.
So I'm in this white light, and I'm creating a way to come back, because I knew how to come back. And then when I came back through the veil, I realized that what I was creating energetically was to heal my own body.
Yes.
And so there's this energy that moves through from the creator.
And that's for all of us.
Through and into your body, your biophotons start waking up, which are little lights in your body. And so how I started sharing the distant healing with people, or even the physical, like I said, I bring that light body up. I understand that light that's in the body. And so I connect to that, which they call it your light body.
Yes.
And so distantly, just like the meditation knows no time or distance, neither does me closing my eyes and showing up energetically. So when someone calls,
they're asking you, because you have to be asked, right? You're not just going to go do it. They're asking, Nicole, will you assist me? And then that's how you can kind of get near them, correct?
Unless I'm asked my creator or the
Oh,
angels,
yeah, okay.
I can go
Well.
help it. But you know, someone
No
calls
pun,
me.
but you're trumped on that, right? It's like,
But when no, they have to ask,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's not up. It's someone's karma, and I'm not able to
interesting.
step in anyways. But what I have experienced is when someone does call me, it's their time.
yeah.
And so when someone calls me, I close my eyes and I imagine them. I remember them as their perfect self, as their light body, as their wholeness. And then I kind of separate them, and then I'm like, okay, this is where the body has stuck energy, and then
Because you can actually see that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
And what isn't theirs? Maybe they took somebody else's stuff on. You can see that's attached to them.
Yeah, and how I can tell that is because you have a design before you come here, and it's in your crystals, and that's a whole other show. But
Yeah.
we
need to do that show at some point.
It's in your crystals, and if their toolbox or if their design that I can see doesn't have the solution for something that they're holding in their body, then it's not theirs. And then we send it back with love and unconditional love and forgiveness.
Yeah.
So that's how literally how I see the bodies. It's all. Is that supposed to be there? Is it not supposed to be there? If not, it doesn't. Unless the person wants to know, it doesn't really matter. We need to send it back with unconditional love and forgiveness to somebody else, and then hopefully that emotion or that thing, whatever that person was holding on to, will now go back to this other person. Which a lot of my past clients, like whole family lineages, or have really benefited by just this work.
Yeah.
So like working with one person, we moved through the energies.
That's interesting.
We'll see, okay, wow, that's somebody else's. This is hers. This is your son's. This is your daughter's. Let's wrap it with this joy bubble and unconditional love and send it back and see what happens. And it's actually whole family units have came together just from this way of being, this work that we're doing together. And it's all through vision, love, frequency, no guilt, shame, or blame. It's all just forgiveness. Forgiveness. We're all doing the best we can.
And that's the one thing that I have to say. I've just realized that maybe the light doesn't work on our phone. Remember when it did that? I'm thinking it doesn't. So I'm going to check this in a second.
Yeah, my cell phone's going.
But what I was going to ask you is, now I just completely forgot about that. Because when you were talking about the fact that when you died and came back and created a light, but there is no judgment in that light. Because I think we judge ourselves so harshly. And you're saying it's not like that, right?
Not at all. When you're in that divinity, when you're in that masculine, feminine light that loves you, you get to see all expressions of yourself, and everything that you've ever done is right there in front of you, and there's no judgment except for what you choose to do.
Wow.
I chose forgiveness. I'm like, wow, if I didn't...
I'm laughing because when you choose forgiveness, you have people lined up to forgive. And that's not a party either, right? That's
party for them, maybe.
Oh man, no, I'm laughing with you because I think a lot of us have chosen forgiveness, and it's like, wow, I didn't think it would look like this.
It never
Are
does,
you sure
right?
I chose that? Wait a minute, can I renege that and choose something else? I say, too late.
They're like, where's the vote? You should have read the fine print.
Yeah, exactly. You signed on the dotted line. Yeah, it's funny. 879-4100, area code 435 is the number to call. And I'm just going to double check. Oh, no, okay. We had some issues with the phone the last time when you knew that people were calling. And so we got it, and then after that, then the light started working again. And I did have the light working earlier this afternoon, but it's a distinct possibility that it's not. But anyway,
we're pure entertainment right now. People are just like, yes, we're healing just through their conversations.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what. If you really have wanted to talk to Nicole, you've got like 10 minutes, and we're out today. But yeah, no, but it's been so interesting because I think everybody's been going through this kind of stuff, and it's interesting what you downloaded in Mount Shasta. I mean, what you saw, but then it wasn't until you got back home till you really got it in your own life, right? So now, when I first met you, you were less in your body than you are now. So is that kind of what's going on? Like you are getting to a point where you're more grounded in your body, but you can still, do you know what I mean by that? Because I think it's been this is heavier energy. Let's face it, and you know what it's like not to have to do that, right? So,
There's a caller.
Think about that. Let's take the phone call. Yeah, I was going to say, you see that. Okay. Hi, you're on the air with Remembering Connections with Cindy and Nicole. Would you like to talk to Nicole today?
I'd love to talk to Nicole. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
I'm okay.
Good.
Hi, this is Barrett. I just thought, well,
Barrett with a cute laugh.
Yes.
You have to laugh. You can't. You are not hanging up until you laugh with us today, Barrett. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
There it is. There's
Such a happy laugh. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh man! Wow, you got me every time. You get me. You were calling and asking about people who want healing, and I'm not necessarily seeing a physical issue right now. It's more about it's complicated, but to hit the point of it, it has to do with this whole idea. You were talking about things that don't serve you, and I was just talking to some friends that I meet with weekly who we study esoteric things, and they're very sensitive and so forth. But at any rate, this subject came up, and I was thinking about it, that I find that I have this sort of way of attracting a certain kind of woman that I'm sure has everything
I'm
to do
laughing with
me.
you, not at you. I'm laughing with you. Yeah, I get it.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And it's a long, long story, but in essence, I'm just trying. There's one person in particular that I can think of who just seems terminally, I don't know, things are really messed up with that person. And I sure would like to heal the misunderstanding between us, however that looks. And that's about it. So I guess that's the way to sum it up, if I was to really, make it super simple.
Let's start with clearing your stomach, because I can't really connect and tell. Are you having stomach problems? Upper stomach?
Not that I'm aware of, but who knows?
There's like this anxiety that I'm feeling up in your upper stomach.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised about that.
So that is part of your that fear that whatever's going yeah, it's like where your upper stomach is. Whatever's going on there is like attracting like a really disharmonious space around you. So let's just clear that.
Okay.
So you're going to breathe through your nose into that space in your stomach. Can you feel that like there's a knot or something? There's just something not right in your stomach, upper stomach.
It's like what you were saying about the trembling energy of the earth. It reminds me of that.
Okay. So when you breathe through your nose, breathe in that purple light. Actually, let's just tap in the blue, the electric blue light that I brought back when I died. Are you familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, move that through the top of your crown all the way back of your spine. Ooh, are you unwinding? Is your body like unwinding?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I can feel that. Wow, you're in a. Yeah, so we're just going to unwind you. Let that go. Like, move your whole body with that. There's, like, this untwisting movement. Move your arm and, like, move your arm back because you're kind of moving forward and back. There's a good bone or something that needs to crack.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel it?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel it kind of spiraling down.
Yep. So allow that white light to move down. What we're going to now call an intention to bring forth that the relationship that fits you the best. Not perfect. When you ask for perfect relationships, you're always going to find a fault. But when you ask for the one that vibrationally matches your highest self, bring that down. That's what you want. You want that highest self, that highest expression of you. And then you offer from that space right now. So you're going to breathe in, and then from the space that was having trouble, you're going to breathe out. You're going to breathe out that love and kindness to that other person, and you're going to do a combination of compassion. She needs a lot of compassion. There's a lot of compassion. Remember, you're an empath. I can feel that in your heart. So desire compassion instead of empath. When you're empathetic, which a lot of people are, you take people's stuff on. So if you really make a conscious effort to ask for it to be compassion, so then you offer her compassion, and then the biggest thing is offer it to yourself. Then the even bigger thing is allow it for yourself. And then you're going to breathe through. I feel like you feel light and watery right now.
I do.
Yeah. So we're just going to allow that to move through you for 36 hours, and then just kind of allow you to emanate such a pureness, such a compassionate heart, such a love that she'll either shift or not. Does that make sense?
Yes. Unconditional.
Unconditional.
Barrett, do you feel better?
I do.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
So that's a real laugh now.
Oh, well, you got me laughing and crying. at the
That's
same
a good
time.
thing. It's
Yeah.
all good.
It's a
Crying
good
gets
thing.
it out, and laughing, if you have a stomach, man, there's nothing, the stomach issues, laughing's like the best thing. Just gets rid of all that tension. That's awesome.
So don't hold your try not to hold your breath when you get stressed. So when you're like when things are disharmonious, then you hold your breath. You'll go, and that's holding all of that information up in the upper gut. So yes, it sounds amazing.
You
Good
sound
job.
better. Barrett, happy
thank you.
Wednesday.
Much love to you both.
Aw,
Thank you.
thanks for calling in. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Aw, I love that you said the compassion. I love that because I think not just compassion for others, especially because, you know, I'm empathic. Oh, my gosh, that's so much better than taking everybody else's stuff is just having compassion for them, but compassion for yourself. Like, who would have thought about that? We have just a couple more minutes, and I wanted to mention the Array Hope Foundation. Would you talk a little bit about that?
Speaking of compassion, we have a huge nonprofit that we do that's called the Array Hope Foundation, and it assists kids. It also assists families that are suffering, or the families that have the children that are suffering. So what we do is we train and we do healings with me. We've had really good success with children that have had brain disorders with the family that's been on here before, Noreen Jessup. This is really working. These kids that they were told once there's no hope and just kind of allow them to their rite of passage to cross over. Now they're having a quality of life as they can, and it's happening. It's working. And so we assist these people. We will train healers and work with healers to work with the kids. And then I share my energy with them and my whatever I can do to assist other healers to activate their gifts to help these kids and the families.
It's all about the children.
That it is.
Yeah.
It is. The families suffer just as much. Like last time, or like I was invited to the children with the Down syndrome, but their moms are the ones that came in, and then it ended up family units with the when you also assist the adults, it assists the children because then they know how to work with them also energetically. So
right. So the money for the Array of Hope Foundation, if you would like to donate, you can donate at Nicole's website, and her website is energyhealingbydesign.com, and there's something you can click on. It'll say the Array of Hope Foundation, and you can find out more about it. She's explained it a little bit, but it probably goes into a little bit more detail on the website if you want to check that out. It is energyhealingbydesign.com. You can also check out information at our Facebook page at Remembering Connections with Cindy and Nicole. So check us out on Facebook. Once again, always, now we're going to be on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock at 100.3 FM in St. George and on Radio St. George on Facebook. If you didn't get a chance to see this, you're listening and you wanted to see it on Facebook because we have our faces, we have the cameras up and stuff. We're going to be having it on our Facebook page at Remembering Connections with Cindy and Nicole shortly. If you would like to find out about Nicole, go to energyhealingbydesign.com because she does do personal healings. If you're in another state, no problem. She'll do it on the phone. Otherwise, if you want to come in and see her, she is located at 352 East Riverside Drive in St. George. That's Suite A12, which is upstairs. So we invite you to just check out the website because it kind of has all the information in our Facebook page, don't you think? Is that what it is? We want to thank the amazing Sean Donovan, who is the professor here at Dixie State University, to allow us to come in here and do our show. And we're glad to have us back.
Me too.
And I mean that because we always say this off the air. It sounds crazy. We love us because we have so much fun together. And it's so great to have somebody that's really walking the spirit and someone who's like, my spirit's here, but boy, I've been in the body for a long time. And so it's just kind of a different perspective. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Remembering Connections with Cindy and Nicole. Check us out on Facebook. Have yourself a happy Wednesday and have a good one.